try too, but my daughter, she is not comfortable discussing it.
I always told my son, keep your hands above the equator.
I bought them the book by American Girl, The Care and Keeping of You. We didn't talk much about it, and I told them if they had questions at school that they didn't understand, they could ask me, or they could read the book.
I told her, finish school first, then she can do whatever she wants.
I figured it out. They will too.
My mother never talked at all about sex. It was pretty much taboo in my family. When I was 13, I started having my period, and I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was dying. I didn't want to make the same mistakes my mother did, so my girls were well informed.
Once in a while, not in any detail. I'm not very nosy. And I guess it's difficult for me to think of my daughter in that way.
I remember when he was 15, we had the Connie talk. One of the hardest talks of my life.
I tried to make them feel comfortable talking about sex and asking questions. I think it went well. Ask me when they're 30.
It was easy. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, and I taught my daughter to be comfortable with hers, so she can make rational decisions.
There's no way I would accept it in my house. If she was to get pregnant, she'd be out the door.
I dreaded the talk. We all dread the talk. My son is now 18 years old, and I still remember the day that we had the talk. I thought for sure he'd have the talk with his father. After all, he was a boy. You know, it would be one of those man-to-man kind of things, you know? But his father was out of town on business. Isn't that convenient? He must have known the talk was coming. He was 9 years old, my son. We were at the house, and I was asking all the usual mom questions. How was school today, son? Do you have any homework? He was playing his video games and giving me the usual one-word answers. You know, the kind that sound like grunts instead of actual English. And then he stopped, and he put the controller off to the side, and he looked at me with this uncomfortable gleam, and he says, "There is something weird I heard at school today, Mom." "Oh, really?" I asked, so grateful that he was sharing with me something about his day, something about his life. And what was that? Now, had I known the talk was coming, I may have said something like, "You know, your father will be home tomorrow, and you can talk about that something weird with him." Or, "Honey, weird things happen all the time. Now you go wash up for supper." But no, I took the bait. I was about to have the talk with my son. My beautiful 9-year-old son. My baby boy I carried home so proudly from the hospital. The little tyke I pushed on the swings at the park as he yelled, "Higher, Mommy, higher!" The little rascal I chased around the house trying to flatten out that piece of hair, you know, the one that's always sticking up in the back. So he says, "Well," and I said, "Yes, sweetie?" And he says, "Well, some kids at school today were talking about..." "And what were they talking about?" I asked. So anxious I was to hear him say something profound in his 9-year-old wisdom. He says, "Well, some kids at school today were talking about doing sex." I repeated to myself, "Keep your composure, keep your composure, don't freak out." Oh, God. Where was his father when I needed him? Probably sitting in his hotel room eating pizza in bed and watching Sports Center in his boxers. You know, at first I have to endure 9 months of pregnancy, 24 hours of labor, teething, potty training, temper tantrums, nightmares, and now this? Well, my son goes on. He says, "Joey Pico's older brother is always talking about doing sex. And he said that his brother said that doing sex is when a guy and a girl bump uglies." Now, my son thinks this is hysterically funny and starts laughing like a maniac. then my baby boy, he asks me, "So, Mom, what is sex?" There it was. His father was supposed to have the talk with him, not me. If we'd had a girl, I wouldn't have expected him to talk to her about her periods. And I still hadn't even had the talk yet with my parents. Talking ugly?